So I've seen some pretty messed up movies in my life. I would say there are two specifically that take the cake, and in this video, I'm lucky enough to film it with actual lights, different camera, and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk about those films and then talk about some of the ones that you guys said were the worst ones you've ever seen. And I'm not saying these movies are bad or anything, a lot of these movies are really good, but the two I'm going to talk about I really don't like. They're very disturbing. The first one is Cannibal Holocaust. Now, a lot of people have gone on and really started to like this movie because they say it's something about journalism and it's this whole metaphor for everything. But I watched this movie probably just over a month ago, and it was disgusting and disturbing, and there was no part of it that was enjoyable, obviously. And I know that's the whole point of it. It was kind of like Blair Witch before Blair Witch, like the fake documentary style type of thing with, like, you know, it's cut, well, this one's actually cut from future and then going back. It's a film crew going out to find an old documentary crew and trying to discover all their footage when it comes to these cannibal tribes. But the movie comes off as very offensive, and the worst part about it, now I'm not vegan or anything, but you do see them kill some animals fully on screen, and the turtle scene is possibly the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in a movie. It is so gross. I know it really messed up some of the actors, and that movie is disgusting. And these aren't movies that I'm like, oh yeah, you should go check out, and it should be like this whole thing where it's like, let's just watch it to see how messed up it is. Like, no, I don't recommend either of those movies, but I don't want to talk too in depth about them because a lot of the stuff is just disgusting. I will never watch these movies again, but I know a lot of people like this movie, but I just don't see it. The characters aren't likable, and it's boring, and then when it is exciting, it's gross, whether that's sexually or just violently, I guess. But yeah, Cannibal Holocaust is one of, if not my least favorite film of all time. And the other movie is this movie called Antichrist. Now, some of you may have heard of this, some of you not. It is a Lars von Trier movie. This is the first one I've seen from him. I've heard interesting things about him. And let's just say I'm very skeptical on his other movies now because I hated watching this movie. It opens up with a very interesting thing, some nice intercourse on screen, and it's in black and white, and I was just like, okay, this is gonna be weird. And then their kid dies, and it's kind of just them, the couple, Willem Dafoe, and I forget what the other actor's name is, but they're really good. It's just like, sometimes it's so much, and she's crying through it like 70% of the movie, so it does kind of get old. And I get it's a traumatic thing, obviously, but it does get old after a while. And honestly, like, I was just so bored. And then when it comes to like the second and especially the third act, this movie is almost as disgusting as Cannibal Holocaust because of some of the things that happen, and I'm not going to say any of it because that stuff can't go on YouTube. Let's just say they show everything on both of them, and there are lots of violent things that are shown without any blurring or without any trying to hide it, and it is pretty disturbing. But also, this movie is just so annoying, and it just goes back and forth. It repeats a lot of the same things over and over and over again. I get it was an attempt at studying grief and stuff, but that one really failed for me. It was so boring. Do not watch either of those movies. They are not good. But now I want to talk about the movies that you guys mentioned. So I have it up here on my phone. Let's see. So in my YouTube comments, somebody said, I avoid morally repulsive films as a rule, but the most disgusting one that comes to mind is Feast to Sloppy Seconds, at least for me. I don't know what that is. Pink Flamingos. I keep seeing this. A lot of people are saying this. That scene. I've heard of this movie, but I don't know what that scene is. So let me know if I should watch it. Irreversible 2002 is the only film to make me physically nauseous. It put me in a legitimate trance-like state when it ended, and I had a serious panic attack. Coming out of my anxious episode is since become one of my all-time favorite films. Wow. Never watched Salo, Bone Tomahawk, or Brawl in Cell Block 99 all the way through, but probably those films. Last House on the Left from 1972. I have not seen that one, but I really do want to watch it. Tagline, yeah, I hear so much about it. It sounds really interesting. This comment made me laugh. I love this movie, but the grossest, most disgusting movie is Zack Snyder's director's cut of Justice League. Shudder. Grossest as in gore. John Carpenter's The Thing. I've only seen clips about Martyrs Takes the Fucking Cake. Yeah, I've heard about this movie and I don't plan on watching it. Terrifier 2, that one's new, so that one's pretty interesting. Human Centipede, I knew we were going to get some of these. It was in 2009 or 2010. I was 17 or 18 years old. I was over at my cousin's house, whatever. He basically forced him to watch this movie, and it was one of the most disgusting and gross things ever. I can handle Halloween movies like that, but that was way too graphic. The grossest movie I saw in 2016 was Raw. It was kind of hard to watch when I saw it. Yeah, I've heard about the movie. I do actually want to watch it, but I've heard like you cannot eat while watching it. And I normally do for movies, so that takes something away. And another one about the Human Centipede trilogy. Couldn't really pick a specific one to be most disgusting, and somebody said, really? I'd say 2 is the most profane. And then going to Instagram here, top comment from Becca is 7 or Martyrs. Now 7's disgusting, but like in like a different type of way. The movie's one of my favorites. And then Martyrs, yeah. Serbian film, oh god, a bunch of, yeah, Serbian film, probably Hostel, I haven't seen that. And no, I've not seen a Serbian film. I don't plan on watching it. Salo, that's one of those movies that I don't want to watch. I know I'll hate watching it, but I've also heard it's so good, but I also just really don't want to watch it. Blood Knot. Doesn't fit into the category of like disgusting in terms of blood and guts and whatnot, but the movie is all kind of fucked up in a lot of other ways. I've never heard of that, but interesting. Somebody said, force my girlfriend to watch Cannibal Holocaust with me this week. Actually, I'm sure we're in for a treat. No, you're not. Trust me, you don't want to watch it. Slither, I don't know what that is. The Saw movies popped in my head instantly, but I would have to say Green Inferno. Well, I've seen the first Saw, and it's gross, but I've heard the sequels are worse. But yeah, Green Inferno, heard some stuff about it, but I just wanted to make this video to kind of just discuss gross movies around this time of year, because that's kind of an excuse that people use, is to watch some pretty messed up movies, and it can be fun. I've seen some pretty disgusting, great movies, but when it comes to Antichrist, or what's the other one called? Cannibal Holocaust, yes. Don't watch them. That's just my recommendation. I know that a lot of people will take this video as a challenge. That's not what it was supposed to be, but if you do, let me know what you think of those down below. And what is the most disgusting film you've ever seen? Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next time. Over and out.